This is a reading for you. It is not attached to a zodiac sign or timeline. The intention is if you come across this reading, it should benefit you in some way. That being said, I've already pulled a few spreads for you here. And this is interesting. Perhaps a truth or a suspicion revealed. You find yourself maybe confused and sort of analyzing how to properly assess or judge things moving forward. You may be sort of holding back or holding on to something, but as scary as it is to look at, you may just end up walking away, and that will probably be somewhat of a painful blow. And mind you, I will say that the outside influence, we'll say they're less than honorable. Moving forward, I do want to say that this will be a short duration of healing, maybe. In fact, I'd say you very much have stability on your mind right now. I feel like you're probably going to focus on collaborations or professional matters because the damage seems to be done in your personal. And there is justice in this whole debacle, I think, that comes from you really sort of taking an honest look at things and just protecting your best interest and moving forward. And I want to see what it looks like moving forward. If this is resonating so far, please do feel free to like and subscribe, share the video, check out my Patreon, check out my website, all that stuff. There may still be some debate with this change or debate around it or debate around changes you're going to make. I'm going to say that you're very pensive, very focused. Also, I feel like you're able to sort of face everything with a sense of neutrality in a sense. There may be some nostalgia here that develops. You may sort of pay attention to certain things for a while. It's going to be a process of healing and working, it seems like. It's very dedicated. It's very much a very realistic perspective. By the way, if this is like a relationship thing, it doesn't look like you'll have any shortage of options or interests, so I definitely wouldn't be concerned about that. Although I don't think that you're really that interested in looking at that, because again, I feel like you have very specific things you're manifesting. And in a lot of ways, I feel like this may be just the proper nudge to get you there. Especially when we experience loss or difficulty, funny enough, that can actually create a lot of positive momentum in our life if we allow it to. I read something today. It was on one of those stoic feeds, it's let concern inspire action rather than depression. I feel like you're trying to find solutions. You have, it could be commitments and things like that on your mind, but I'm more so seeing it shifting into elevating yourself. And look, I mean, especially if you're trying to build a business or something right now, this could be a very beneficial time for you as far as your finances go. You know, there's pain here. I also do get a sense of regret here, so that could come about. Um, but on ground level, we have the Emperor. So again, you're really sort of using this time to empower yourself, to make certain choices. And clarify. Again, I feel like you might be attracting a lot of attention right now. Honestly, I don't even think you're going to pay it any attention though. I think that you're very focused on results that you're trying to see with maybe certain things you're building or personal matters in your life. You could be, I mean, if you are solely focused on that one situation, you could be watching how that develops, but I'm going to take the more proactive route and say that you're building something in your life, be it professional or creative, whatever it is. It does seem to go quite well because ahead of you is very good. And you know, I also get the sense of trusting your intuition more. Like maybe you had some intuitive guidance on how all this was going to go or how this was looking. And maybe you doubted it. But yeah, again, because you got wounds on your mind. So this is very much about healing, letting go, really leaning into a mystical path maybe, or your own sort of unique direction. And, you know, we have final goodbye, release, surrender, healing. We also have hexbreaker, so it kind of implies that you're breaking out of a situation that you really should have in the first place. You know, a lot of times when we experience rejection, you know, the implication is that the other person is too good, but like often you're too good for situations that you get rejected from. It can also very much be a sign of your value and their ignorance or their impoverishment, which, you know, reality. I feel like reality is going to set in for the outside influence in some way. I just see very dramatic changes for you here for the better. And trust me, like whatever you're sort of leaving behind here, it's sort of just radiating mediocrity. I will say this too, you know, in a sense, this is it kind of brings about a jaded perspective. And it's interesting, especially, you know, I feel like you're really, you know, that is going to actually really change things for you though. I normally would say avoid, you know, taking on a more jaded or negative perspective, but I feel like it's almost towards either social situations or even people. And, you know, because again, I get this sense of turning inward. And, you know, you may really use this to develop yourself or harness a lot of energy. Maybe you become aware of how much energy you are being depleted of. Because often when we find ourselves breaking out of like long-standing circumstances or like bad relationships or anything like that or old jobs, you know, we can kind of come to realize that, damn, we really shouldn't have been there to begin with. And it feels like one of those readings. It feels like your life is going to progress in a very satisfactory way. And, you know, You know, it kind of seems like there's a lot of fear in the outside influence. A lot of investigation, maybe. And again, it just sort of reeks mediocrity. Even like the way that it's like that this is all handled, it just sort of, you know, this is definitely, you're better off. You're better off. So, you know, really remember that message. Take all this energy that you're experiencing and turn it inward and, you know, put it towards becoming the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. And I guarantee that's a decision you'll never regret. So I hope you found this reading helpful. I hope you found it enjoyable. I'm going to take it a bit further for the extended version of this reading, available on my Patreon, which is it's the first link in the description below. I am available for personal readings also. You can access that and artwork, and you can contact me, all that stuff, through my website, also in the description below. And I hope you all have a lovely evening and happy growth.